Hello and welcome to a humble Highland home. Thank you so much for joining me here today. That was lucky. I nearly stepped on this wee slow worm just going about his business. We will wait until he's gone on his way. It's a gorgeous sunny day today, and as much as I would love to sit out here and just listen to the birds, but it's a perfect day to clear some of the areas that have been piling up and are going to be a hindrance if I want to be working in that area. With most of the projects working in the garden, I have to factor time and clearing the space first, but I try to minimise moving things from one area to another, especially with all the stones. But today it's all about wood chipping and mulching leaves into the compost and some hand sawing some of the branches of the smaller wood. When I have the wood chipper out, I like to have the sawhorse up at the same time so that I can swap these jobs about and avoid any muscle strain or repetitive boredom doing the same job all day. I have two piles of branches and leaves, one bigger and older than the other, and I've been adding to these piles over time, but they can be a trip hazard and generally get in the way. This lightweight metal sawhorse is incredibly handy as I can move it around to wherever I need it. The bigger and heavier wooden sawhorse tends to live around where the log store is for when we're cutting wood up down there. Underneath this pile of branches and at the back, I built a small retaining wall last year, and then I built up the soil level at the back of the apple tree. Then I moved the comfrey plant, which needed a lot more space to grow, and given that the bees love the flowers so much, hopefully this year it'll have the space that it needs. I'll be continuing to work on this area again as soon as I can, but clearing it will help, and at least it'll make it look a bit tidier. This is the pile of aged wood that I've been slowly cutting up over time. The bigger branches and logs will have to be cut up with a chainsaw, but I have been and will continue to cut up the smaller ones that are a bit more manageable to me, especially when I'm cutting them up by hand. Metal pea and bean frame will soon be back in use, and that will give me better access to continue to reduce this pile of wood and add them all to the log store pile. I hold on to the vision of what this all will look like, as it's now part of the preparation for the new garden steps. And as I said it before, it all starts with clearing the areas to give us space to work and save doing jobs twice. All the work that we're going to be doing in this area will probably feature in many videos to come, as I think this might take a while. Just one thing at a time though, because we have to keep it all manageable. We try to make as least amount of waste as possible. So in this pile, some of the branches will be returned to the ground via wood chip on the paths. Some of the leaves will end up as autumn mulch on the garden beds, and some of the large wood pile will end up as logs on our log burner, which will keep us warm and cosy in winter time. And then we use the wood ash back into the garden. It's getting late in the day now and the sun has moved around, so it's starting to get a bit chilly. So it's a perfect time to stop and have a cup of tea. Adam's timing is perfect because while he's here, I will enlist his help to put up the pea and bean frame in place ready for this year's planting. Adam reminded me as we were moving the frame that this was only supposed to have been a temporary frame that he made, but apart from a few new cable ties, it's still going strong. It's part of my rotational planting plan, just to move everything along a bed. So I've got a little routine now that everything moves along and benefits from the last crop, like where the peas and beans and celery were last year, will feed this year's crop of brassicas. Peas and beans can help fix nitrogen in the soil, which brassicas thrive on, as nitrogen can increase the size of the leaves and the overall yield. So hopefully, now that I've reseeded my brassicas after the slugs ate them all, the cabbages, the cauliflower, the broccoli, the Brussels sprouts and the purple sprouting broccoli, not to mention the kale, will have a nice home for them to grow in. So thank you to you all for being with me here today. I want to get this pile of chipping finished before I tidy up and head inside for the night. Let's chat in the comments down below or over on Instagram. But for now, take care of yourself and others, and I'll see you in the next video.